recognizing the chief guest, the former president of the Republic of Botswana, and my very good friend, Dr. Serese Kamani Akam. Permit me also to recognize my friend, the former Vice President of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable Stephen Kalonzo, to recognize the governor of makwiny, Mutula Kalonzo Jr., Mama Mulwa, the chair of the trustees of Lukenya University, the chair of the council, the vice chancellor of the university, the chancellor of the university, the pro-chancellor, my good friend Dr. Heda, the academic staff, and permit me also to recognize some of my friends who have traveled far and wide to be present here. Madam Senaid Dimitri, who is a big business person in Ethiopia, has traveled to be with us here. My good friend Nurdin Kajuma from the United Republic of Tanzania, and of course Lak Makel from the Republic of South Sudan. I believe Dr. Wanjiku Lumu is also here, one of the major proprietors, and Ray Nyamwea. Your Excellency, exactly 2 years ago, we were present here with my good friend Julius Selo Malema to institute the Pan-African Institute. And perhaps wisdom demands that the historical context is established. The historical context is that our foundation, the Lumumba Foundation, was debating where to establish the Pan-African Institute, present as we are today in 50 African countries. We had a conversation with Lukenya University and agreed that the Mother Institute be established here. And I can confirm that 2 years later, we are spreading our tentacles. On the 7th day of October this year, we established a child of this institute at the university in Hargeisa, the Unity University. Your Excellency, I will also confirm that on the 15th day of November, we will be establishing the 3rd institute in Lusaka, Zambia. I can also confirm that during that period, we have entered into a memorandum of understanding to establish an institute in Trinidad and Tobago at the University of West Indies. And that next year, we'll also be establishing this institute in Monrovia in Liberia. And we say all of these because we recognize that over the years, Pan-Africanism has been romanticized. One may say that Pan-Africanism had been reduced to sloganeering, but we refuse to believe that the purpose and import of Pan-Africanism was merely to sloganeer. And that is why we strive to give content to Pan-Africanism. Your Excellency, we want to know that under the aegis of this institute, we are touching young people in the continent of Africa. In Kumasi, in Ghana, early this year, we established at Obuasi High School an Innovation and Invention Center. And next year, will be showcasing some of the things that young Africans are doing. This very same year, in Monrovia, we have established a Pan-African clothing line. And on Saturday, I will be in Lusaka, Zambia, to establish the Pan-African Media House at Eden University. I also want to make known that in the manner that my good friend Infront of Gidon and Robert Yasimia said, we hold the view that Pan-Africanism must not be confined in the arena of politicking without more. We believe, as my good friend Herman said, that economic liberation is indeed the true liberation. And that is why, therefore, we are engaged specifically with the ladies and gentlemen that I've invited here. We will very shortly, in the first quarter of the year 2026, be establishing jointly with Nuruddin Kajuma a program for feeding Africa, and the tagline is, have you eaten today? We are giving meaning to agriculture in Africa, and we are honoring one of the greatest Pan-Africanist contemporary, Edwina Flatten Taylor, who died about 2 weeks ago, and already we are present in 6 African countries on the basis of organic farming. With my good friend Dimitri, who is a big business person in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, we are going into the spaces of empowering young men and women. So we come here, Your Excellency, not only to commemorate and celebrate, but also to announce that we are giving meaning and content to what was said by the pioneers. Just this morning, as we were flying in here, I remember some of the most iconic speeches that were delivered in 1963, when the Organization of African Unity was founded. And I remember these words of Emperor Haile Selassie, when he reminded his audience that Africa was not created later than other continents. He reminded his audience that Africa was created at the same time as other continents, but that we have been engaged in lamentation for too long, that we have handicapped ourselves for too long, and the time is now for us to begin to lift ourselves by our bootstraps. Your Excellency, we are here to do exactly that, and that is why it was not a difficult task to invite you, having had occasion to be with you in a number of Pan-African forums. It is also important to note that we had invited the former Vice President of Liberia, the Honorable Jewel Taylor, but she could not make it. She recorded our message, but technology has conspired against us, and therefore it will be communicated online. Your Excellency, on occasions such as these, wisdom not only requires but demands that we do not speak for too long. It requires that we only remind ourselves that we are on to a big thing. For the young people who are present here, it is your duty to carry this baton forward in the knowledge that throughout the ages, the continent of Africa has been undermined. In fact, if my camera does not let me down, the very place at which we are, Mtito Ande, means the forest of vultures. And this is a place where during slavery, the bodies of Africans were eaten by vultures. Hence the name. We can no longer afford that luxury. Our duty, therefore, you who I am, is to go down in history, because if you do not have a sense of history, you cannot have a sense of the future. If you look at the young men and women who are the purveyors of Pan-Africanism, they were young. Nkrumah was young. Lumumba was young. Mboya was young. Nyerere was young. Samora was young. Salserese Kama was young. Biko was young. Amilcar Cabral was young. Ahmed Ben Bella was young. Tiro Ngobote was young. Kaunda was young. It is in your youth that you must carry this baton in the knowledge that Africa can only be catapulted into the orbit of sustainable development if our young men and women are in the forefront. And I pray and hope that beyond today's celebration, marked with pomp and circumstance, you will, each one of you, do that which is good and right. Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, addressing young people such as yourselves in 1967, said in Kiswahili, and permit me to quote, siri ya maendeleo ni vijana wenye malezi bora, siha njema na bongo kali. Nina hakika na siha njema na malezi bora na mna bongo kali. Ladies and gentlemen, I said wisdom requires only one thing, not to speak for too long. I now conclude my remarks, and in so doing invite my good friend Sylvia Kasanga Mulwa to lead us into the next segment of this engagement. God bless you.